You're watching the Chipotle High School Basketball Nationals here on League Ready from Hamilton Southeastern High School in Fishers, Indiana, just outside of downtown Indianapolis. Our 8 and 9 matchup and a chance for that last spot in the quarterfinals. Archbishop Stepinac out of White Plains, New York at Spire Academy from down the road in Geneva, Ohio. The winner, well, they get a berth in the quarters, but against the #1 overall seed in AZ Campus Prep. And what a matchup that'll be tomorrow on ESPNU at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. Game 2 of our doubleheader here on this Wednesday night. East Trade M's. I'm Max Toma. Glad to have you back with us. And we've got another terrific matchup. And I think we got to start because the McDonald's All-American game was last night with this Archbishop Stepinac team, because they got 3 McDonald's All-Americans on this loaded roster.
But Spire is one of the best defensive teams in the country and in the Scholastic League. You look at the numbers, they only gave up 57 points per game, and they have great positional size. They're well coached. You talk about Coach Boyle, one of the best coaches in the country. So it'll be fun to watch their defense go up against those 3 McDonald's All-Americans.
It's a great matchup. You have 3 McDonald's All-Americans. On the Stepinac side, they just won the New York City Championship for the 4th year in a row. First New York team to ever do that. Here is that starting 5. A guy you and I have seen and also really loved his game, who's kind of under the radar with this team, Hassan Karesi, the Fordham commit. He's been sensational at times.
He's just really efficient. I mean, he can score at all 3 levels. Is a really good stroke, can shoot it from 3, understands his role within this team, is able to kind of create off of 2 or 3 dribbles or off the catch and shoot.
Coached by Patrick Mascheroni in his 10th season. On the other side for Kevin Boyle's team, Taurus Bowie, the Alabama commit, the senior from Charlotte, North Carolina. Him and King Gibson, a couple of 4-star guys. Darrell Davis, Ada Turkak, whose commitment has flipped with a coaching change, and the Dorian Romaldo Comlin going to join a loaded squad at Iowa State. Great matchup. I mean, Spire Academy's been one of the best teams in the country all year long, and I feel like everybody knew they were going to be one of the best all season long. And then this Stepinac team led by Darius and Adonis Ratliff, the 7-foot twins bound for USC, who just came back from the McDonald's All-American game. Them and Josiah Jervis. Darius and Josiah both put up 5 points in 15 minutes apiece yesterday. So here we go. Spire in white and Stepinac in dark blue. As we are ready to go. 8 versus 9. Lob off the first play. What a start. Taurus Bowie skies for the dunk.
See a lot of NBA teams run that first play of the game just to try to get an exciting, electrifying play. Beautiful execution there from Spire.
Ratliff gets fouled. And Adonis will head to the free throw line. Well, you know, try it game 1. We talked about both teams kind of struggling to get their feet underneath you when you run a successful lob and alley-oop on the first play. That might calm the nerves. Adonis Ratliff, 5-star, the number 15 ranked senior in the country, the number 1 center. And you've got 2 7-footers on the same team who are seniors, studs, and they can stretch the floor. It really opens things up for the offense. And you add in a Josiah Jervis, who's the 3rd different Michigan State commit that Tom Izzo gets to watch tonight here in Indiana. The basketball capital of the world this week. The Final Four and Chipotle Nationals. Oh, great look inside. And the lefty layup falls. Dorian Romaldo Comlin, and this offense is moving and grooving. They are dishing the rock early.
It's a team that averages almost 15 assists per game, which is 2nd in the Scholastic season.
They get the turnover here for a brief moment. They'll go right back, though.
And for Spire, too, I mean, they're just so good defensively. All 5 guys are engaged, active in the right spots. They pressure the basketball. They communicate well. So it's really hard in the half court to score against them.
2 extremely well-coached teams. Hierarchy deep 3 goes down. Josiah Jervis, the 4-star bound for Michigan State, ties it up.
Jervis is a smooth operator, can score at 3 levels, can score off the bounce, from 3-point line. Great athlete, is going to be an incredible asset to Michigan State next season.
Davis bounce pass inside, gliding in for 2 is King Gibson. No sluggish start for either team here. This looks like mid-season form offensively. Jervis banging bodies with Gibson. Ratliff got stripped away. Terrell Davis, nobody picked him up. Picked it out to Durkak instead, sweeping his way through the middle. Up ahead, Jervis. No good, gets it back. 1-on-3, rejected. Romaldo Kama with the block.
It's going to be interesting to see on both ends of the floor how each respective offensive player is able to adjust to the athleticism and size defensively. And this is talking about both these rosters. They have great positional size. I mean, the Ratliff twins are both 7 feet, can block shots. And Spire's team defense is incredible, as we've talked about.
Off the heel from Caressi. Yeah, so much height and length. Bowie, sky's clear for him, and he lays it home.
A beautiful change of pace there from Bowie in transition. Kind of stopped at the free throw line. The Red Sea parted, and poor communication from Stepinac, and Bowie's able to get downhill to the basket.
Jervis fakes right, goes left, gets a paint touch. Kick back out, 3-ball. Left it short to Darius Ratliff. Spire up by 4 with possession. Just doesn't feel like there's a ton of space with how much size we have out there on the court right now. Durkak inside, gets it back, but his foot was on the baseline.
To that point, especially with a 84-foot court. I mean, this is a high school size court with collegiate level athletes.
Sad Caressi going to Fordham. He was incredibly good in the City of Palms Classic down in Florida in December. Hounding defense here. Adonis Ratliff gets it back. Showing off the dribble drive. Jumper no good. Put back falls though. There he is. The 6'4" guard, Hassan Caressi.
You're not going to see him dribbling the ball, dancing, making moves like Jervis, but he's just so efficient and understands his role on this team.
Someone trying to dribble handoff, but his man slipped on the deck, hit a two-handed flush the other way for Caressi. Back-to-back buckets for him. We're back tied at 8. They don't draw up a lot of offense, a lot of specific plays for Hassan Caressi, but he can still find a way to get his. Forrest Bowie driving at Ratliff. Has to fade away over the 7-footer. Oh, that's pure.
Good attack. Nice little hesitation to show 3, and then attacking into the painted area with the right hand, utilizing the momentum of Ratliff going backwards to create space for that mid-range jump shot.
Caressi erased at the rim. Romaldo Kamlin's got 2 blocks. It is going to be hard to come by points down low.
Yes.
With a lot of rim protectors out there for both teams. Leave up top. Davis gets to the elbow. Got to shoot it so high because even when it's not blocked, the shots are just altered. That's something you got to adjust to in this first quarter. And Ratliff got fouled. Adonis will go to the free throw line. He was 1 of 2 his first trip.
I think that's where 3-point shooting is going to be so important in this one. And Spire's a team that doesn't take a ton of threes, but they're very capable in terms of shooting the basketball, shoot a solid percentage. But with the size of Stepinac, the Ratliff twins, it's going to be hard to get down there and finish.
Except that we've talked about. They make fewer threes than any other team. The Nike YBL Scholastic 4.5 a game. But the flip side of that coin would be they've been so good and they have such great athletes and size. A lot of times they don't need to be too reliant on the long ball. They defend the 3 quite well, though. Spire up by 1. On a good set play leads to an open look. That's a rounded out, though, for King Gibson. And Kevin Boyle has an opportunity to draw something up. They generally get a good look. Dylan Perry going at Durkak. Off 1 foot. The fadeaway. Nikola Jokic style.
Saw that from the Monmouth commit. Like Dirk Nowitzki, Jokic.
Is that a shot you had in the arsenal in your playing day?
Absolutely not.
Like a modern-day big man type of look. Bowie looking for the answer and finding it.
I like the aggression that Bowie has come out with. It's really, they left his mark on this game in the first quarter.
Darius Ratliff. And Durkak skies in to parachute for the rebound. They're playing with some pace. Hit some energy here in this first 6 minutes. Durkak on the blow-by, got stuck in the air. And foul by Josh Rivera.
And I think Durkak is really the X factor for this team. This guy who averages about 11 points per game, 5 rebounds, 3 assists, really efficient from the field, still developing as a shooter, but he has had some big-time offensive performances that has really propelled Spire.
Now, you and I had a game piece earlier this year when he was coming off the heels of a triple-double. He's also top 10 in the league in steals per game. And we have seen a lot of emotion out of him at times, too. It's the free throws. As a Providence commit, now committed to the Dayton Flyers. Plays in Geneva, Ohio, so staying in the state.
Yep.
Gressy with Davis all over him. Going right, and his feet slip out from underneath him. Almost got the assist, though, but the follow-up good for Josiah Jervis.
It's all set up because you get a paint touch there. Even though it's a little bit out of control, Caresi able to get into the painted area with the drive, and the defense has to collapse, and that leaves opportunities for offensive rebounding.
And the two-handed dunk for Amaldo Comlin. Set himself a great first quarter. He's got 4 points, a couple of rebounds, and a block and a steal.
It's incredible how this Spire team executes on the offensive end. I mean, it looks like a well-oiled college team.
Caresi trying to get to his spot, hangs and hits. Oh, it's impressive from Hassan Caresi.
I'll tell you what, Fordham has got a good one coming. This is a kid that can make some significant noise in the A-10 next year.
Which is fun because off air before this game started, you and I were talking and really giving Hassan Caresi his flowers because on a team that's just chock full of, 3 McDonald's All-Americans, he goes a little unnoticed. But his game is so good, as is that chop shot from Bowie, who hits again. Bowie's already into double figures. He is 5 of 5 with 10 points. Spire has led almost the entire quarter. Jervis, oh, what a finish to his first quarter. Back tied at 18. He's got 8 points. Bowie's got 10 points. This is a captivating opening 8 minutes. Spire an opportunity to take the last shot. Darrell Davis, Aiden Durkak get a trigger. That's too strong. Tip in goes, though. Romaldo Comlin. And that's how the quarter will end. A tip in from the big man, and it is 20-18. This is just good offense. Got the shot up with enough time to get a second chance opportunity. 1-on-2, and he just wins the fight. Those long arms, tips it home with the left, and it's 20-18. Spire's got the edge. Second quarter coming right your way after this.
Build your own Chipotle is the easiest way to serve a group.
Let's go!
A mini Chipotle experience at home.
It feeds 4 to 6 people.
We have a lot of food here.
Lots of protein, rice and beans.
Everybody can make whatever they want, and there's plenty to go around.
Absolute game changer.
Elite High School Hoops, all season long. Streaming from the top tournaments and showcases across the country.
Who kicks it out? Fowler, three-pointer. Count it at the buzzer. We are live from Hofstra University.
The 5-for-5 Hoop Fest on League Ready.
With 3 minutes remaining, Harper gets the steal. Harper goes by James and jams it.
Cross-court pass. Here's Rob Wright. 2-on-1 for the slam.
Catch it all live on League Ready YouTube.
Introducing Chipotle's new high-protein menu with real chicken, grilled fresh, no antibiotics, no fillers, ever. Starting at $3.50, packed with protein, Chipotle's new high-protein menu is real protein you want to eat. Chipotle, for real.
Chipotle High School Basketball Nationals are delivered by Chipotle. Real ingredients, real flavor. Chipotle for real. 8 minutes in the books. This has been an exciting and appetizing start to this game. And we are seeing some of the best high school basketball players this nation has to offer right now. And they're all playing well, it feels like. Adonis Ratliff no good on the 3. Durkak is doing a lot of the tough, gritty things. Contested rebound. This will be a jump ball, though. That Coco in there got his hands on the basketball.
Imagine, I mean, guarding that ball screen action with Josiah Jervis, as good of a shot maker you'll see in the country, and then the pick and pop for Ratliff, one of the best shooting bigs. I mean, that's a tough cover.
He's swinging around into the corner. Right off the bench and connecting on a 3, Jalen Parker.
Parker's a guy who only shot 31% in the Scholastic League. I mean, you see Stepinac trying to go to zone to kind of slow down this high-powered offense of Spire.
Long-footed, doesn't matter. Another bucket for Caressi. Jalen Parker, by the way, 5 made threes in the regular season in like EYBL Scholastic play. But no hesitation off the bench. Romaldo Comlin with the left hand, soft touch.
Romaldo Comlin faked the handoff there. A lot of times the bigs are ready defensively to guard a ball screen or pick and roll in that situation. Beautiful read to attack and get into the painted area.
Jervis extra pass. Coco puts it on the floor. Adonis Ratliff, tough shot, won't fall, but he'll head to the free throw line. I mean, right now, Stepinac is shooting 50% from the floor, and Spire an incredible 73.
Yeah.
Through 9.5 minutes.
So on the other end, Stepinac trying to go to zone, understanding this Spire team. You mentioned it earlier, Max, as Ratliff misses the first. That makes less than 5 threes per game. So trying to kind of force them into their weak spot. And Spire's done a really good job of not settling, but still getting into the teeth of the defense.
And this is what we talked about. They make so few threes because they just really haven't needed to shoot too many this year. Shooting at about 33%.
Now Stepinac is back in man.
Early inside for Romaldo Comlin. Working on Ratliff, goes left again. Durkak skies in out of nowhere, puts it back in. He has a knack for coming out of nowhere quickly the other way. It's halfway down and out. With a trip to the free throw line for Hassan Caressi, who's just asserting himself.
Durkak's one of those guys you got to keep a body on. And I believe it was Josiah Jervis that was matched up on him and just kind of was ball watching as the shot went up. As a guy who's probably not used to guarding a forward that crashes, but all time, especially in these high-stake games, every possession matters. You got to be able to box out there.
Bowie out, Gibson in. Even Daco Green also comes in. Averages just over 1 point a game. But both free throws go, and Caressi is into double figures. He's got 10 of Stepinac's 23. Taurus Bowie on the bench right now is 10 of Spire's 27. Hot start for both offenses. Durkak just stripped midair. Pass intercepted by Josh Rivera. Hesitation dribble. The kick to the baseline. Ratliff. And he is fouled on the way up. They haven't gotten one of these and ones to go. They've been close. And Adonis Ratliff is going to attempt free throw number 7 and 8 already.
Coming into this game, I was very curious to see how both Ratliff twins played against the physicality of Spire, and thus far they've been really strong with the basketball, assertive drives to the basket, being able to kind of win the contact battle. And shown here is Adonis, as you mentioned, has gotten to the foul line quite a bit.
He's made 5 free throws tonight. Stepinac back with it, a pair. Can he hit again? Not good this time.
That looked like it went in.
It was hard to tell live for a second there. Jalen Parker doesn't shoot many. But hey, you see the ball go in once off the bench. Why not let it fly again when you're open? Transferred to Spire back in November. Came from Liberty High School in Vegas. Did Jalen Parker. Chance to tie or take the lead. Seen 2 lead changes so far, but Stepinac only led for 17 seconds. Jervis down the baseline into the corner. That's a good look for Jack Coco. Coco recollects it. And Caressi no good. Ratliff there. Third opportunity of the possession. Sidestep. Jervis. That's off the heel. Tracks down his own miss. Caressi this time, and we're all tied. Sensational effort on the glass from the Crusaders. That's going to lead to a timeout for Kevin Boyle and company.
I'm going to just say Kevin Boyle definitely is going to have something to say about that last possession. The standard of excellency that he has built here at Spire and Montverde before, I mean, that's just not acceptable to have 4 offensive rebounds on 1 possession.
Eventually, they were going to get something to fall, and they did. And it's 27-27. And offensive rebounds 5-2 now after that big possession. At Spire, despite the fact they're shooting 67% right now, you look up and we're all square.
Yeah, and you look at these teams, very different in their makeup, but in terms of overall, like the talent level, you know, well-coached programs, I mean, pretty equal. It's a really good matchup at an 8-9, and I mean, it's for AZ Compass to have to play one of these 2 teams tomorrow. That's a tough matchup.
I mean, it's a pick your poison. And in terms of how clean this game has been, we've seen 4 total turnovers, 2 apiece. And with everything hanging on the line in an opening round game at Chipotle Nationals, you're trying to make it to the quarterfinals. The pressure certainly has not gotten to anybody.
No.
Do you think it helps at all to sit back and watch the first game? Will that help any nerves potentially?
Yes and no, because on the flip side, you're then going to have those nerves while the team that you're playing has already had a game under their belt.
Well, Davis with it. Quarterback of the offense, over to King Gibson. Straight down the lane. Good defense. Gibson got it back though. There he is. Ratliff was all over him. Big mismatch size-wise. Got those 2 7-footers on the floor. And Terrell Davis gets his first bucket of the day.
Really good take from Davis. Shooting over the top of the smaller Coco there. And nice little retreat behind the back dribble to create space.
Side step dribble, Adonis Ratliff. Around it out, Durkak couldn't clean it up though. And Hassan Caressi's there for another tip-in.
He's just always floating around the basket. I mean, normally as a guard, you're taught to get back on defense, but just has a knack for finding the basketball on the offensive glass.
Just one of those guys. Right guy, right spot. He seems to always be in the perfect place at the perfect time. That's a bucket and a foul for King Gibson. He's up to 4 points.
Nice little set for Gibson to come off of a handoff. You're the big there in Ratliff. You got to step up and provide a little bit of resistance. He's just kind of able to come off that thing cleanly and get a good look at a floater.
Number 23 ranked player of the junior class, converts the old school 3-point play. Spent last year at Montverde with Coach Kevin Boyle. Jervis in the corner. Deficit at 3. Hasn't grown too big. This has been a game that's been played in a very tight window. Adonis Ratliff, who had drawn a lot of fouls already today, couldn't draw one there.
That was one of his weaker takes. And he has a knack to doing that. He's a great shooter, but sometimes he doesn't drive to the basket strong.
Charles Purr is in there. Same with Romaldo Comlin. So a little bit more size right now in this lineup for Spire. Davis bounce pass inside. There is Purr. Spire up by 5.
Beautiful job of Davis keeping that dribble alive. and allowing Purr to roll to the basket. No weak side defense there for Stepinac, and a beautiful bounce pass.
Darius Ratliff, long two. That's strong, and it goes the other way. Here's a look at Tom Izzo. Watched a couple of these Michigan State recruits last game, and watching one more here in this one with Josiah Jervis. He's got 8 points on 3 of 5 shooting. A couple of boards, a couple of assists so far. He's watching his guys. He's also getting a look at some guys he'll be playing against in the future, and maybe some potential recruits down the line with some of the younger guys. Rare turnover. That is only the 6th so far for Spire. So does 2 for Archbishop Stepinac. Dylan Perry scooping and scoring. How about it?
Looked like Perry had nowhere to go, but just great composure as he got into the painted area and utilized that footwork to step around the defender.
King Gibson, fancy footwork, lost the basketball. And it's going to be a tie-up. Got 2 guys going out of bounds. And we're sharing possession there. King Gibson did all of the hard work, just couldn't lay it off in the dunk. Spire led 20-18 after a quarter. They've outscored Stepinac 14-13 here in the second. Ratliff driving in. Had to lob it up to the much smaller Caressy, but an ill-advised pass.
And now we're starting to see the physicality get to him, and maybe some of that is fatigue. You know, obviously, you know, being at the McDonald's All-American game and then take a charter back and, you know, be here for a big-time game.
That's what the whole team was, to watch their teammates. Both Ratliff and Jervis. Another look inside for Purr. Over to Romaldo Comlin, trying to go up strong, and does. This bigger lineup has had some success. Lead is up to 5. The biggest it's been is 6 in this opening half. Caressy with the team high 14 points, looking to add to his total. That's off the mark, though. Oh, but take it right back, Jervis. Couldn't finish the layup, but does earn another possession. That's a scrappy Michigan State style play.
It is. For Spire, one of the things that's impressive watching them defend is they're able to play physical, aggressive defense without fouling. And they're able to kind of get into your skin, even right there. I mean,
Ratliff was a little frustrated.
Yeah, a little frustration, a little shove there. You could see the physicality of getting to the Stepinac team. Not just Ratliff. I mean, Josiah Jervis as well. Caressy.
Jervis kicks out. Perry with the 3. That's not close. Put back and a foul. We'll send Darius Ratliff to the line. They are winning the battle on the offensive glass, and that's helping them keep this close.
Yeah.
6 offensive rebounds to 2. And a chance for Darius Ratliff to get on the board here. He is 0 for 3 from the floor and hits his first free throw. Burkhank back in. That'll send Romaldo Comlin to the bench. 54.5 seconds left. First half, it's been very tight the whole way.
As good as both teams been playing offensively, a combined 3 of 14 from the three-point line. Again, I think this is a game where you could really blow it open by making three-point shots.
These are two teams designed to be in a rock fight. You hit a few threes and it can go a long way.
Yeah.
And extending a kind of a lead. Davis doing a lot of dribbling as he hangs in the air. No good. Purr just missed out on the putback dunk. Up ahead, Jervis, reverse layup. No good. Putback misses. 2 tries where they can't finish. Davis lobs it up. Oh, Taurus Bowie.
But how about the pass, though, from Davis to avoid the steal with the left hand?
Dylan Perry, good defense straight up from Aiden Durkak. Pinballing around, Caresi comes up with it at the free throw line. Weird bounce pass inside to Ratliff. It's a little helter-skelter now, less than 5 to go. Taurus Bowie in the corner. And it's a brick. And that's how this first half ends. 5-point lead for Spire. And a little bump at midcourt there as we roll things out. But what a moment here in transition.
Yeah, look at this left-handed pass. Kind of an underhand pass. That was beautiful.
Switches from the right to the left. Works it around the defender. Right over the top of Perry. And an emphatic alley-oop is the final bucket of the half as Spire leads by 5.
Chicken Al Pastor is back at Chipotle, where fire meets flavor, where heat meets pineapple sweet, where chicken meets the sizzle of the grill, and where fans meet their favorite. Chicken Al Pastor, where fire meets flavor.
Elite high school hoops, all season long. Streaming from the top tournaments and showcases across the country.
Who kicks it out? Fowler three-pointer. Count it at the buzzer. We are live from Hofstra University.
The 5-for-5 Hoop Fest on League Ready.
With 3 minutes remaining, Harper gets the steal. Harper goes by James and jams it.
Cross-court pass. Here's Rob Wright. 2-on-1 for the slam.
Catch it all live on League Ready YouTube.
Yep. Nope. Yep. Nope. Yep. 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 Everybody got choices.
You're watching the Chipotle High School Basketball Nationals on League Ready. One half of the books, one half to go between Archbishop Stepinac and Spire Academy. The Crusaders from New York trailing the Spire squad out of Geneva, Ohio. And look at that field goal percentage, Trey. 17 of 25, shooting 68% from the floor.
Yeah, but again, it's a three-point line. I think that really can make the difference. 3 of 15 combined from three, both teams shooting at 20%, but you got to give Stepinac a ton of credit. 34%, only down by 5.
Yeah, I mean, should they change much? Because, I mean, you have to assume that Spire's not going to continue to shoot it at this high of a clip. And you're right there.
Yeah, I think you got to be feeling good. I mean, I think that's a positive. As you know, Stepinac has the talent. 3 McDonald's All-Americans. Caresi, who's as good of a 4th option at the high school ranks that you'll probably see.
He's really found his again today. 14 points. That is a game high. 2 in double figures so far for Spire. Durkak fakes left, goes right. Davis into the corner. And they'll work it back out. Always a patient approach for this squad. Darrell Davis rises and connects.
Came off that ball screen, ready to score and looking for his shot. Davis is a guy known as being a passer, but a really good job coming off aggressively up that pick and roll.
And it's a foul against King Gibson. That'll be his second foul, first on the team here in the third quarter. 8-point lead. That is the biggest of the night. Not like what we saw in the first game. Spire has led just about the entire way. No made field goals over the last 3.5 minutes now for Stepinac. Caresi with 14. Josiah Jervis has 8. Jervis has it now. Big screen there from Ratliff. Here's Adonis going all the way in. 7-footer can't finish. And his brother comes in with the over the back. There's some extracurriculars too, and there was a big bump at halftime.
Yeah.
Right before we were rolling out to break, it was between Aiden Durkak and Dylan Perry. So this could get a little physical and testy down the stretch. You never know. When you move on to the quarterfinals at a date with the 1 seed AZ Compass Prep on Arizona tomorrow at 6 Eastern time. Obviously a loss when you are all done. Way to go home at this stage. Romaldo Comlin with the left hand. Another soft finish for the big man with the offhand. Into double figures. 5 of 6 from the floor.
Great read there off the short roll to catch and face and see the lane.
Great help defense from Durkak, and he'll just take it himself, but he missed at the rim. Put back good for Taurus Bowie. Durkak helped out and just ripped that basketball away with 2 hands.
The Spire team that just comes at you in waves, and they're just so sound defensively, but also aggressive without fouling.
7-0 start to the second half. Caresi well short. Durkak dangerous look ahead. Picks out Bowie, and he converts at the rim. Lead up to 14. A 9-0 spurt in 1 minute and 52 seconds. Well, whatever Kevin Boyle said to this group at halftime, it is working.
I mean, just showing you why he's one of the all-time great high school coaches in the entire country. I mean, the high school ranks. I mean, he gets his guys motivated, the high standard. Probably wasn't pleased with how that first half went, especially the offensive glass. And he had his team ready to play, and they've been hitting on all cylinders here in the first 2 minutes.
I'm going to bring up a similar line of questioning we had in game 1, and that is, where do you go when the stars maybe aren't playing their best? Because between Darius and Adonis, Ratliff partner, 7 points, not a single made field goal. They are a combined 0 for 9.
And also to go along with that, I mean, I feel like King Gibson has done a really good job against Josiah Jervis and just making everything difficult for him. And Jervis has hit a few, but I mean, he's had to work for all 8 of his points, 3 of 7 from the field. He's got a couple turnovers as well. I mean, this just shows you a Spire team that's just really good defensively and makes life hard for you with their physicality.
I mean, they have forced Stepinac into a situation where a third of their shots have come from Hassan Karesi, 11 of the 34 so far. And if he's going to go off, I think Spire would live with that. And he is having a great day.
Yeah.
Spire finds himself up by 14. Jack Coco in there. Full court pressure on. 9-0 start to the second half. No made field goals in nearly 5 minutes. That drought continues. But a late whistle will bail out Jack Coco.
It was a good take there from Coco, attacking the pressure full court and just being assertive and getting downhill to the basket and playing off of 2 feet as well so that he can have control to finish and avoid the shot blocker.
New York kid with interest from Brown and Yale and Columbia. Trying to get his team back in this. Some points off the bench. It was the first bench point they've had today. But off the miss, he'll pick up the foul.
And one of the things, too, as a competitor, Max, you understand going up against the Ratliff twins. Like, oh, you guys were at McDonald's playing at McDonald's All-America. I'm going to show you. You know what I mean? There's that pride that comes in. You know, I remember kind of being a, mid-major prospect is get a steal here from Karesi, but
that's going to be a goaltend because King Gibson hit the rim when that ball was on the way down right above the cylinder, and that was not going to go in.
Yeah.
You were saying that?
But yeah, just to, I mean, so you come in there with a chip on your shoulder playing against guys who are McDonald's All-Americans, and I think that's what we've seen from Spire.
They come out with a vengeance in the second half. First made bucket since the 2:49 mark of that first half, and it came on a goaltend from Aldo Comlin trying to have his way down low, but had it blocked on the way up. Karesi the other way, left hand good. It is all Hassan Karesi tonight for Stepinac, and it is another careless moment here for Spire, and Aiden Durkak's got to be careful.
It's a beautiful finish, avoiding Durkak with the left hand, but that's why, you take your time when in doubt after the ball goes through the basket. Things like that can happen. You don't pass it when your foot's close to the line because now you're just leaving it in the official's hands.
Let's take a look at tonight's Chipotle Player Spotlight here in the third quarter of our second and final opening round matchup. And it is Josiah Jervis, top 25 player. And that's the next top 100 is ordered. Bowl, white rice, chicken and steak. Gotta love a good combo. Corn, sour cream, cheese, and lettuce. Fundamentally sound, a lot of protein for a growing man at 6'5" who's going to Michigan State. I say job well done.
Yeah, it maybe doesn't fit his game because, I mean, a terrific player, but he's got a lot of flair to his game where I feel like this is more of a fundamental order. So maybe it doesn't fit.
What do you want to see in there?
Maybe some fajita veggies, a hot salsa or something like that. I would expect from Jervis just by the way he plays.
A little chicken al pastor, add a little
little
fieriness in there. Get some new sauces going around too. On this side of the booth, we always love adding veggies.
Oh yeah.
The high school players, it's a little hit or miss on the veggies, but they're growing guys, and it's working for them. Karesi kicks it outside. Jervis, the high archer. That's short. Again, he follows up his own miss, though, but dribbled it right out of bounds. Energy ratcheted up, though. 13+ minutes to go. We got a full court press going on. Makes or turnovers for both teams. Forced the turnover last time. Durkak, man possessed, lays it off from Aldo Comlin. Jam plus the foul. And it's such a luxury to have a guy like Durkak who,
right now is your forward, being able to handle the ball and make really good decisions in an outnumbered situation. That's why I just feel like at the collegiate level, he's going to be such a valuable piece. Even though he's still developing that jump shot, he can make plays like that in transition.
Basically just took on the entire team. He split a pair and then sucked in the other 3 guys.
Yeah.
Only to pick up the assist. Ratliff lost it on the way up. Adonis's struggles continue. He's 0 for 6 from the floor, but he gets the turnover and the theft here. Jervis looking for Perry, and a turnover in transition.
Darrell Davis missed Bowie in transition there, which is a rare miss because, I mean, Davis is as good of a playmaker you'll see at the high school ranks. Averages 5 assists, but just kind of completely missed him in transition there.
4:35 to go. Stepinac's down by 11, but they haven't had a field goal yet between the Ratliff twins. Combined 0 for 9. Romaldo Comlin able to draw the blocking foul against Jack Coco. It'll be his second foul.
Love to see a guy. I mean, he's listed as 6 foot, but I think that's being generous. He's willing to put his body on the line. It's his 3rd time somebody twice his size has come barreling down the lane, and he's been willing to take a charge.
I don't think anybody in athletics at any level that is 6 feet is actually 6 feet.
Yeah, that's a good point.
A lot of people coming in exactly 6 feet. I'll see another whistle. It should be free throws for Aiden Durkak. He's got 4 points to go with 5 rebounds, an assist, a steal, and a block in his 17 minutes. Yeah, there's a lot of the nitty-gritty stuff. Now Stepinac's looking for some answers. They're hanging right in this game. Both teams struggling from 3. Spire shooting 69% from the floor. That's a number that's only gone up since halftime somehow. Stepinac at 34. And there's your difference. One team shooting the lights out, one team is struggling. Size, length, and athleticism for Spire, not to mention how well they are coached defensively. Just everybody knows where to go in this system. That's a foul against Romaldo Comlin. That's his 4th foul, and that is critical. He's 7 of 9 from the floor with 14 points and 5 rebounds.
That is because, I mean, he's been a finisher. I mean, he's been a beneficiary of a lot of the penetration and the work of the guards. He's been able to complete those plays.
Well, Charles Purr is going to probably have an extended run here. Height-wise, they're similar. He's 1 inch shorter, but does not nearly have the level of mass and strength Romaldo Comlin does. Caressi, top shot. They're struggling to find offense. Just 5 points in this 3rd quarter so far. Darrell Davis scoops it up. Durkak tips it around. That keeps it alive. Going right back. That draws the foul. And that'll be more free throws for a man who has, I think, earned that rest on the floor. He's getting run out.
He's just a high energy, high emotions type of player. And that can be for good or bad at times. As we've seen him throughout the course of the year, getting to some scuffles, but you, as a coach, you love that competitive edge. As long as you can tame it, you know, and obviously to go along with that, the talent. And I'll say this, for me, he's a jump shot away from being an NBA prospect. I think that's the only thing that he doesn't have in his game right now, because he's terrific at pretty much everything else.
What do you think a coach sees when they see that fieriness? Because we've seen it honestly boil over a little bit, but a lot of times it's also sparked the team.
Yeah, I mean, usually it's more of a positive as he knocks down the first one. There's times, you know, where that emotion, especially if things are going bad, you know, can push you, you know, to things going worse. But a lot of times when you're going on runs and you have some momentum, it's guys like that that can elevate you to the next level.
Charles Purr in off the bench with an offensive rebound. So a made free throw and an opportunity for more. Parker kicks it right back with Durkak. Got a couple guys in off the bench right now for Spire. Going to add to a 12-point lead. Led by as many as 14. A rather careless foul against Jervis, especially considering Spire's in the bonus. That's only his first foul, but it's 2 free throws for Darrell Davis, who is 3rd in the entire league in free throw percentage at 89 on the year. And it's funky because Darrell Davis really struggles from deep. He's made 7 threes all year.
Yeah.
19%, but he is lights out from the charity stripe.
Yeah, he's just the perfect point guard.
Floor burn for Aiden Durkak. Right in front of Tommy Zoe and company.
I love that. You got the whole Michigan State staff pretty much in that front row.
They look pretty comfortable. They've got their guy right now with the basketball. Jervis going to hoist from way downtown. Bird tips it off Durkak. It'll stay right here. And right now, Josiah Jervis going in the direction of his future coaching staff. He's sitting on 8 points, 3 of 9 from the floor. .50 ball, bodies on the floor. Jervis just got elbowed in the mouth.
And it's very clear right now. They may take a look at this one.
I think they got the timeout, but we'll see if that gets at least talked about.
It's clear that the physicality battle is in favor of Spire. It just seems like right now Stepinac is just really on their heels, begging for calls. And in this type of environment, like, you want to be the aggressor. And I think some of that is to the fact that, I mean, for Spire, they played in the Scholastic League, right? They played against premier competition for most of the entirety of the season. Not that Stepinac didn't, but Stepinac is not a part of the Scholastic League. So it's a different level of competition.
They just won the city championship in New York last week. They were down by 14 against a very quality Spire team. And that's something you alluded to back in the first half was AZ Compass is going to have a tough matchup as the #1 overall seed tomorrow, no matter how this one shakes out. But AZ Compass versus Spire, I think you look at that matchup potential, and there's obviously over 11 minutes left.
Yeah.
But if you looked at those two teams a couple of months ago, you could make the case that might be the 2 best teams in the country.
100%. I mean, you obviously have the House Twins there, who is a bit of a backcourt you'll see in high school basketball. You know, it's tough going. I mean, this Spire team, they're so good at all 5 positions on the defensive end. So then, if they're able to take away your best players, it makes it really hard for you to score, especially in the postseason. So I think the Spire team, just because of what they bring to the table defensively, is really at an advantage in this type of tournament.
The interesting scenario would be if they were a team that got some kind of sizable deficit, how they would try to trim that down, given they just don't have the 3-point shooting prowess. And everything else they have in spades. Durkak in there for the 2-handed jam. He's having himself a whale of his second half so far. The Energizer Bunny for the Spire team. Biggest lead of the night. Ratliff halfway down and out. His twin brother collects the offensive rebound. Caressino. Dooley with the rebound. Durkak not slowing it down. Behind the back to Parker. That's short. And maybe they do want to pull this thing out. And you can see the call coming from the bench.
Yeah.
Hey, Kevin Boyle, hey, let's slow this down. They almost just gave it up. That will allow King Gibson to check back in, though. He comes in for Jalen Parker. Or no, rather, he'll come in for Tyrese Bowie. But Parker thought he was checking out.
You mentioned it earlier, the fact that right now only 5 field goals for Stepinac outside of Hassan Karesi. If you would have told me that before the game started at this point, that would be the case, I wouldn't have believed you.
Outside of Caresi, the team is 5 of 27. He is 8 of 14. Jeez. I mean, that is incredible. Durkak, another offensive rebound. And yet another offensive possession for Spire Academy. Starting to assert themselves even more as this third quarter goes on. Oh, Terrell Davis, so fancy to the rim. Missed it at the cup, and it goes the other way. Maybe just a little off filter at the end.
You see that a lot with smaller guards. Sometimes they're too quick for their own good, and the balance as they get closer to the rim can be compromised because they're moving so fast, and they end up having to throw a low percentage shot up, and that was the case right there for Davis.
Feels like a similar situation to what Wasatch was in last game at this stage in the third quarter. Are you thinking about trying to get this down to single digits before this quarter ends? That's another miss, another one-and-done trip. 3 and 2 if they want it. Durkak to Purr, finishes in the air. Oh, that's a smooth touch for the junior from the South Sudan.
Another issue for Stepinac right now is they send a lot to the glass. I mean, we talked about earlier is the foul there on the floor, and you have this transition situation, but I mean, because they send so many to the glass, we talked about Caresi, who's kind of always roaming around there. You don't really have floor balance in transition defense, so Spire does get the rebound. Now they got outnumbered situations.
What a third quarter it has been. 18-5 in favor of Spire. In the corner, no good on the 3 attempt. They've hit 2 all game long. Into the corner, Terrell Davis, got it! Biggest lead of the night and continuing to grow. It's up to 21 now. Jervis no good, and Spire is just having their way now. Just enjoying themselves. Terrell Davis knocks down another back-to-back. He's 3 of 3 from deep with 13 points. A Spire third quarter clinic and another stop. Caresi will clean things up and get the layup. It was 24-5 to start this quarter. Parker just had that erased. What a block that was for Dylan Perry, but that was a flash of utter brilliance from Spire. And when they're hitting threes, and they don't shoot a ton, but Davis hitting back-to-back, that might be just a back-breaking sequence.
Yeah, I think at the conclusion of this one, you'll look back at how this third quarter has ended, and it'll definitely show you that was the game right there. Is the run that Spire made. It's a tough thing to come back from.
Spire is plus 16 in points in the paint. Plus 6 from deep, too. And there's another dunk. Tarius Bowie this time. He's up to 18 points on a spectacular 9 of 10 from the field. He's 9 of 9 from inside the arc. And it's just one-man solo ball right now, but Jervis hits the 3. He can hold for the final shot. 26 points in this third quarter. Gibson, Davis cutting this time inside the reverse. Doesn't go, but he'll head to the free throw line. What a quarter and what a finish here for Terrell Davis. Got offers from Mississippi State, Providence, Florida State, Maryland, West Virginia, and some mid-majors. And if any program was watching the last couple of minutes that he has logged, they've definitely been awfully impressed. He hit 7 threes in the regular season. He hit 2 in a span of maybe 30 seconds there. He's one of the best free throw shooters in the league. There's the announcer jinx. And that'll send us, oh, that might have just busted the shot clock.
Oh, no.
Now that's the night in a nutshell for Archbishop Stepinac. The lights might be going out on their season as Spire Academy is flexing on them here in this third quarter. 27-10. They outscored the Crusaders, and Darrell Davis, a huge reason why.
Build your own Chipotle is the easiest way to serve a group.
A mini Chipotle experience at home.
It feeds 4 to 6 people.
We have a lot of food here.
Lots of protein, rice and beans.
Everybody can make whatever they want, and there's plenty to go around.
Absolute game changer.
Elite high school hoops, all season long. Streaming from the top tournaments and showcases across the country.
Who kicks it out? Fowler three-pointer. Count it at the buzzer. We are live from Hofstra University.
The 5x5 Hoop Fest on League Ready.
With 3 minutes remaining, Harper gets the steal. Harper goes by James and jams it.
Cross-court pass. Here's Rob Wright. 2-on-1 for the slam.
Catch it all live on League Ready YouTube.
Introducing Chipotle's new high-protein menu with real chicken, grilled fresh, no antibiotics, no fillers, ever. Starting at $3.50, packed with protein, Chipotle's new high-protein menu is real protein you want to eat. Chipotle, for real.
You're watching the Chipotle High School Basketball Nationals on League Ready. Brought to you by Chipotle. Chipotle High School Basketball Nationals are delivered by Chipotle. Real ingredients, real flavor. Chipotle for real. Shot clock a little bit busted. That does say 8 minutes. I would imagine that says 30 seconds. Yep. That kind of day. They got the protector in front of that thing, but I'm guessing it's rarely tested to that degree.
Wasn't much protection.
Full court, one-handed. Heave at the buzzer. 65-43 our score. I mean, that might be one of the best quarters we've seen all year long.
Without a doubt. And it was defense leading into offense and forcing tough contested twos, getting long rebounds, and being able to get out in transition. When you got multiple ball handlers, I mean, it's hard to stop. I mean, 3-on-2 situations, 2-on-1. We saw Davis get a couple threes. You're probably going to open look every single time when you have good decision makers on the offensive end in those transition situations.
40 points in the paint for Spire. 43 total points for Stepinac so far. And you can certainly assume that AZ Compass is watching. You're going to see this tape. And they are not going to take their opponent lightly tomorrow night.
I mean, this is the cream of the crop. I mean, that 8 next to their number, I mean, it's pretty subjective. You know, obviously you take into account, you know, wins and losses, but a lot of these teams, I mean, Spire 28-3, only 3 losses this year. Stepinac coming in this one 26-4. So it's like, you know, there's so many high school teams and you're playing against different competition. You know, it's hard to really get a full gauge of what the best, you know, top 10 teams are. But I mean, Spire is as good as they come.
This time of year, you really just want a ticket to the dance and a chance, and then you kind of just roll out the seeds. Everybody's got a chance. So if Spire holds on, or if Stepinac can have this frantic, miraculous comeback in the fourth quarter, either way, the winner takes on AZ Compass Prep tomorrow at 6 p.m. Eastern Time on ESPNU. The first game of the day is a great battle of the Sunshine State, the 4-5 matchup between Prolific Prep and Montverde. CIA Bella Vista and Paul VI. You've got Jordan Smith, who's one of the best talents in the entire country, who's going to Arkansas in that 4 o'clock game on ESPN2, and then ESPNU for the finale of the day. Lake Academy just booked their ticket to that game earlier tonight with a win over Wasatch. They will take on Dynamic Prep. You got a couple teams from Arizona left, 2 from Florida left, but they'll be facing off against each other. A lot to look forward to in the next few days here in Indiana.
Max, how about Miles Sadler of Bella Vista and George Smith, PBI? That is cinema right there on ESPN2 tomorrow at 4 Eastern. I mean, see, George Smith is a projected, you know, top 10 pick of the 2027 NBA draft, is going to have a terrific freshman season. But Sadler, at least at the high school level, and I think it'll translate to the collegiate level, is one of the most dynamic players in the country.
That's going to be a fantastic show And all of these games will be tomorrow. I mean, Spire Days at Compass could be a clash with the Titans, it feels like. And then, you know, you always, as you're looking at brackets, keep in mind potential storylines which could come to fruition. Obviously, if you somehow got Spire versus Montverde in that semifinal game, you have another matchup of Kevin Boyle versus his former team. We saw that in February, and we saw Montverde actually win that game by 16. And that's a massive reason why they've been able to catapult themselves up and all the way to the 5 seed. A team that really figured out their identity to progress after maybe a slow start. Some terrific work done here on the court. I should say really above the court here at Hamilton Southeastern High School, Fishers, Indiana, as it looks like shot clock, game clock, everything's ready above that. Oop, in the distance. Sometimes you got to ad-lib things. You know, you never know what you're going to see on any given night.
Right.
Not sure what tools were used there, but
that was terrific timing. I'm not a handyman. I would have been stumped if that was me in that situation. That's why I'm here calling the game.
And another big-time bucket for Hassan Karesi. The rest of the team is 6 for 31. He is 10 for 17 with 23. He's got half of his team's points. Whistle and a foul here against Archbishop Stepinac. I mean, that's not how you would have drawn it up if you were the Crusaders here today. And it's almost unbelievable that we are now into the fourth quarter and the Ratliffs combined are still 0 for 12.
0 for 12.
I mean, what does that say about this Spire effort tonight? And neither one's out there now because Stepinac's going pretty deep on the bench. But, I mean, how impressive is that defensively?
That is, and I think hopefully on the other end is Durkak with a nice move, attacking the basket. It's a motivating factor for the Ratliff twins. You know, as coming off probably one of the highlights of their basketball careers. You get a 3 there with Stepinac, and now potentially, you know, ending your high school career with this type of performance. Hopefully that fuels them into the offseason as they prepare to play for Coach Musselman at USC.
Durkak thought about it. Shot clock at 15. Lead stands at 18 after that 3 went down for Josh Rivera. And they force a turnover and get a timeout. With some folks in off the bench, you don't get major minutes. Jack Kunko in there, Elijah Devotny, Larry Jenkins, and Jordan Archibald. They got some sophomores in there. Guys getting some meaningful minutes against, I mean, it's still the starters out there for Spire, too.
Yeah.
This could be impactful moments for them as they progress into upperclassmen seasons and years. 67-49. I mean, hey, you want to be playing your best come March, and for these teams to even come the beginning of April, I would say that's certainly the case right now for the folks from Geneva, Ohio. Spire's got 4 losses this year. They lost to CIA Bella Vista twice. Also lost to Montverde and La Lumiere. If they saw CIA Bella Vista one more time, they'd very much welcome that matchup because it would mean that they have made it to the championship.
Yeah.
That could be a fun storyline too, because how often do you hear it said, very hard to beat a team for a 3rd time?
Yep.
Karesi doing it all himself. That's woefully short. And you can't blame him for really forcing up his shots.
Right.
The deficit's huge, and really outside of him, they've had nothing going. He's got 23. Jervis has 11. Nobody else has more than 5. Darius Ratliff 0 for 3. Adonis Ratliff 0 for 9. Team shooting is 34% from the field. Larry Jenkins walled up. Coco just hit a 3, this time fouled. Here's Josh Rivera. The last thing you want to do when you're up by 18.
Yeah. Stop the clock. Free throws. Now they can set up a press. Something that could go from a 3-point play into potentially, you know, a 6-point play.
And if you want to look for inspiration, obviously there's only 6:17 to go, but I think it was last game when you mentioned the Duke-UConn comeback.
Yeah.
Would need to be quite the rally. And would need to be done with some guys not used to getting many minutes.
It'd be interesting if that were to happen. If they were to cut this thing to, let's say, 7 or 8, now do you bring the Ratliff twins back with how they've been playing? So it's something to, you know, keep your eye on if they are able to make a comeback.
Down to 15. Still need a few stops and buckets before it can get interesting, and they'd have that potential dilemma. Do you return the starters, or do you leave in the guys that are making the run? An age-old question. 6 minutes to go. Bowie penetrating all the way in, the one-handed jam. Taurus Bowie hasn't missed a 2 all night. Rivera, no. Daco Green fighting for the loose ball. He's fouled. Taurus Bowie. Freaky long and athletic.
One of the keys is if teams are trapping you and trying to make you play on your heels, you have to continue to be aggressive and not in a way that's out of control, but you just got to make quick, decisive decisions. And if there's a lane that's open, you got to be able to take it and be able to finish, and that's exactly what Bowie did.
Daco Green attacks off the dribble and rises and hits the 2. Needed Daco Green, the junior from Vancouver. Another guy who came over from Montverde last year. Caressi picks out Coco, reverse layup. Quickly the other way though, Romaldo Coblin unmarked and unguarded.
I mean, but that pass from Durkak, I mean, that is incredible. A lot of point guards that can't make that type of pass.
Jervis just creates space so quickly. It's end-to-end right now, and nobody picked up the basketball. Aiden Durkak, and some contact on the inbounds.
Of course.
Jervis can't get back-to-back buckets to go. Aiden Durkak into double figures, 11 points, 8 rebounds to go with his 3 assists. Has a triple-double this year. King Gibson, oh, they're just toying with him now, and that's a foul on the dunk attempt. Caressi picks up the foul, his 3rd.
Give credit to Spire. You felt like maybe that the door was open for Stepinac to make a little bit of a run, maybe cut this thing to 10 or 11. And it was that dunk, I felt like, from Taurus Bowie that really closed the door. And Spire's continue to compete and play at a high level and play disciplined, physical basketball on both ends of the floor.
You know, NATO's operates a team that's very entertaining to watch, always very high-flying and high-scoring. Taurus Bowie feels like he's going to fit in quite well.
Oh, yeah.
His freaky athleticism, because that was quite the drive. I was pretty convinced he was just going to lay that home, and then he shot out of a cannon. No good from Romaldo Coblin, but it's last off of Stepinac.
I think for Bowie, I mean, you see his frame. He's long, he's athletic. I think pace is going to be very important for him and not getting sped up, especially with the physicality of college basketball as he moves on to play for Coach Oates next season. I think that's going to be the biggest keys for him.
$20-point lead. Daco Green who made a nice jumper earlier in this quarter. And this time whistle for the travel. They had a lot of turnovers. Then is this the 9th for Spire?
That's the example there. Daco Green, a double team came, just playing on your heels. And again, you have to be the aggressor when that trap starts to come.
Over there to collect the rebound. Looks like we're going to see 2 games tonight, but we're pretty much led wire to wire. Good find. Kerr gets the bucket after the pass from Alex Mabbitt. Another 7-footer. Junior who doesn't see a lot of the court. How do you come away with this if you're Stepinac, because you have so many incredible athletes and players, such an incredible season. Only team ever for New York to win the city championship 4 straight seasons, but definitely not their best effort here today.
I mean, quite frankly, it just looked outmatched, and especially from a physicality standpoint. I felt like Spire early on really came out with the physicality, punched them in the mouth, and Stepinac didn't really have a response for it. It was kind of late in the second quarter, and then really took it to a whole nother level in the beginning of the third.
Oregon's hounded, turns it over. Here comes Jervis. Another dunk for the soon-to-be Michigan State man. And we'll call a timeout as well. 3:22 to go. I'll ask you this. Link and Spire appear to be the 2 teams moving on with wins today into the quarterfinals. You think both of these teams could be cut out to potentially make it all the way to the final game and win that one? Saturday is the championship, April 4th, noon Eastern time on ESPN. Would you be shocked if either of these teams was the final one stand?
No. In this tournament, again, I think 1 through 10, these teams are as even as they come. And I think of all the teams, Spire moving on, Link moving on, like those teams definitely have an opportunity to play on Saturday for a national championship.
Quadruple header coming your way on Thursday on the ESPN family of networks. ESPN2 for 2 games, ESPNU for a couple. 2 games on ESPN2 on Friday and Saturday at noon Eastern time. Chipotle Nationals Championship. Like we've been calling it.
I think
Indianapolis really is the capital of basketball right now.
It is. Beautiful basketball city, and the fans there, they love the game.
Turnover in the backcourt. I'm going to cash it in and turn it into more points, but Jervis misses the 3. Gets it back and able to power it up and through Perth. Indianapolis is always a great host city.
Yes, it is.
Final Four, for college football playoff, Super Bowl, I mean, you name it. Great venues and great people.
Another reason, too, that I think that Spire and especially Spire was able to, and Link, will be able to advance is they both have depth. Get a foul here for Stepinac, and they have multiple options that they can play, and the guys that off their bench that can produce at a high level. So that's something important too in this type of tournament where you don't have days off, is being able to have guys that can contribute on both ends of the floor.
I like the point you're making, because it does feel like in both of these games that depth has won out. Because on the Stepinac side, 3 McDonald's All-Americans, right? You got Darius Ratliff, Adonis Ratliff, Josiah Jervis.
Yep.
Outside of that, you could make the case that there aren't other real stars on this team. But I mean, Caressi's been the star tonight for sure. We haven't seen much in the way of Dylan Perry. And obviously the Ratliffs, assuming they don't come back in, are probably going to combine finish this game without a bucket, which I would assume will be the first time all year they're both healthy and out there and don't get a field goal. Just one touch passing ball does not hit the floor. That is fun to watch, and it'll end result in free throws. But in the first game, we saw a similar thing. The few guards that Wasatch has, they don't really go too deep with the bench. And honestly, the depth, at least of Manu and Itana, gave them a chance at some point.
Right.
But the Spire team is loaded top to bottom. They've gotten some help from the bench today. And really, you look at the 5 starters, and any one of those guys could go off for 20-plus points on any given night. I mean, think about the stretch that Terrell Davis has had tonight. Taurus Bowie's been a consistent threat all game long. I would say Aiden Durkak's been the same, and Torian Romaldo Comlin's had a great night on both sides.
Yeah, I'd be willing to bet if the Ratliffs go 0 for, and even a city game in New York, I mean, the chances of them even beating, a team kind of in the middle of the pack, I mean, it would be challenging for them to beat. And not the case for a Spire team who just has so many options. Like, you know, Bowie can have an off night, Gibbs can have an off night, Durkat can have an off night, and they can still be in a good position.
You got to keep in mind, Stepinac was just as a team at the McDonald's All-American game out in Phoenix last night. Watching Darius Ratliff put up 5 points. Watching Josiah Jervis put up 5 too. All on the East, and Adonis did not play, and the West did win that game 102-86. The whole team was out there and to fly back.
Yeah, that's
Assuming
tough.
I got back late last night for a game here today. That is not a travel schedule most high school teams are accustomed to.
I understand it. I mean, that's pretty special to have
It's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity.
3 McDonald's All-Americans on, you know, like a city high school. You know, this isn't like a Link or a Spire. And so, like, to have that, that's really huge. But you could see that possibly it probably had an effect on them here today.
Alex Mavitt will go to the free throw line. Missed his 4th appearance of the season. Did not have a shot attempt actually at the rink today. .15 advantage, less than 2 minutes to go. And the game is going to finish rather quietly, and that's really because of what we saw in that absolutely dominant third quarter, 27-10.
Wow.
Massive run to start the half. They really never looked back.
No.
And as much as I said a potential blemish for them could be in the future if they fall behind, they don't shoot the 3 well. Well, if they are in front, they are a very difficult team to come back from behind against.
Yeah, because they're so good defensively. So it's like if you're behind and now you have to score points, you have to make 3-pointers. I mean, it's so hard to get any type of advantage, especially in the half court, to be able to create space, to get by your initial defender, to put 2 on the basketball and have an outnumbered situation on the backside. I mean, Spire is just so sound defensively. A lot of it is you either have to have tough shot making or you got to be able to get out in transition.
.44 to play. Here, game 2 of our doubleheader. And you know, at halftime, I said, hey, if you're Stepinac, you're probably at least somewhat pleased, given that the deficit's only 5, and Spire was shooting over 60% at the time, and said, hey, that number's probably got to come down. Like, it has gone up. They're shooting 69% for the game. They've only made 4 threes, but they've got 79 points. That is usually not how you draw it up for a high school team to put up what I imagine will be 80+ on a night. And they've only shot 56% from the free throw line. I mean, it's truly incredible what they have done from 2 today. And this is going to be another one, and another flashy dunk for Taurus Bowie. He is 11 of 12. 11 twos, and he's 11 of 11 from inside the perimeter. Another 3 goes for Caressi. Not quite done yet. Deficit at 12. Trying to get the trap and the turnover. Gives it back across for Davis. Starters are back out there on the floor for Spire. Trying to salt this away. They'll use the whole clock, but they will turn it over. No, a foul on the pass attempt.
And so one of the assistants saying there, fake a pass and make a pass. And that's such an important skill. Whereas teams are running at you, they're coming at you kind of out of control. And so if you just throw a fake, they're going to go flying in the air, and you'll be able to make whatever pass you want, as long as you stay strong with the ball.
Taurus Bowie, he's only a 56% free throw shooter, but this has been one of his most impressive performances of the year. 11 of 11 from 2. He's got 22 points. Not to mention 8 rebounds and 6 assists. That will be the last time out for Archbishop Stepinac. And Hassan Caressi with that bucket is now at 30 points.
Wow. And Josiah Jervis has 17, but a lot of those have kind of come after this game has been decided, and you got to give Spire just a ton of credit. Just the job that they've done on him specifically. Obviously, the Rattler twins and being physical, but you know, to me, Josiah Jervis is the head of the snake, and he's the one that kind of makes the plays, that gets the crowd into it, gets his teammates into it, and they've been able to neutralize him pretty well at 7 of 19 from the field.
Stepinac is +6 in turnovers and a +6 on the offensive glass. That means they've attempted 16 more shots and 2 more free throws than Spire. They don't lose a lot of games with those type of numbers. But when the opposition is shooting about 70% from the floor, it is just too much to handle.
.23 assists too for Spire. It's really impressive. And the only negative that you could say,
6. Stepinac has 6 assists today.
Only negative you could say is the 14 turnovers.
And how many of those have come late, too?
Yeah.
When it's not all of your starters out there on the floor. 20 seconds left on the shot clock. They're trying to foul. Durkak trying to get rid of it. Picks out Bowie. And he will go to the free throw line. Trying to extend this game as long as they can. Do or die game. And it looks like the 8 seed will join the 10 seed Link Academy in the next round tomorrow. We'll be down to a final 8 here at Fishers, Indiana, in Hamilton Southeastern High School. Just a little northeast of downtown Indy. Well, we haven't had the 2 tightest games, but we have certainly seen 2 incredible performances from Link and from Spire, 2 teams. And when you harken back to what we've seen from the first 4 in March Madness ever since that was initially implemented, a lot of times those teams get a win under their belt, get some momentum, and then rattle off more wins. Kind of single digits here. Lee was 24 at one point. Durkak almost had another assist. They almost had the other dunk. We don't have a dunk stat tonight, but I'm sure it is a very, very high number for Spire. Between Bowie's jams and Romaldo Comlin's jams. Durkak at 11 points. 4 in double figures. Everybody that has touched the court has scored. That is 10 different players for Spire Academy tonight. This final score might not be emblematic of just how much they controlled and dominated this game. But give Stepinac some credit for making it a little tighter late. Jervis going to hoist and got another 3. It's down to 7. They're going to run out of time, but this has been a very well-managed fourth quarter. Team trailing has shaved 17 off the deficit.
Yeah, give Stepinac a ton of credit. I mean, they've fought to the bitter end. Is too little, too late, but there's been a lot of their bench pieces that have come in, have competed and played hard, and now they get a taste, as you mentioned, Max, of what it's like playing at this type of level, and understand, all right, where do I need to get better individually? Where do we need to get better as a team?
I mean, all the players that touch the court in a tournament like this, I'm sure this helps them at the next level too, right? Because you're playing the best, which most of these teams, especially the ones in the EYBL Scholastic, have been doing all year. But you're playing them where it's win or go home.
Yeah,
got to be at your best right now. That'll help you come regular season, come conference tournaments next year, collegiately, and into March Madness. They're hoping too. Romaldo Comlin with the exclamation point, and that's how this game ends. It's all about Spire Academy from Geneva, Ohio, in this one. Led by as many as 24. They led for 31 minutes in this game. nearly from start to finish. And behind the backs of an incredible third quarter at 22 points from Taurus Bowie. Spire gets the win, and they're going to date with the 1 seed AZ Compass tomorrow.
It's a well-oiled machine, and they just have so many options offensively, so sound defensively. It's going to be a tough out. I mean, for a 1-8 game in this tournament to go up against a Spire team that's only lost 3 games all year, it's going to be tough. I'm looking forward to watching.
What a performance from Spire tonight. They shoot 68% from the floor and utterly dominated the 4-time back-to-back city champs from the state of New York. Quadruple header on the ESPN family of networks tomorrow. Prolific Prep in Montverde, AZ Compass and Spire, CIA Bella Vista and Paul VI, and then Dynamic Prep and Link Academy. That's how things line up for tomorrow. It all gets started on ESPN2 at 2 p.m. Eastern Time. Then at 4, 6, and 8. 4 games and 4 opportunities to get a berth into Friday's semifinals on ESPN2, and then the national championship at noon on Saturday, April 4th on ESPN. On the mothership, that's not one you want to miss out on. Archbishop Stepinac 76, Spire Academy 87. The 8 seed is marching on. We appreciate you spending your Wednesday night with us. My partner Trey Dempsey, our entire production team, I'm Max Thomas saying so long and good night. A quadruple header coming your way tomorrow. You don't want to miss it.